from the United America Network, this is Varsity Vibes, your roundup of prep sports action and the voices from prep athletics all across Riverside County with Luke LaMonte. Now, here's Luke.
Welcome back to Varsity Vibes with visual this time. Really excited to switch this ship over to more than just an audio of me talking. Now we get to be as face-to-face as possible with the video being displayed now. Since October, that has been the way of things around here, just a little black screen and listening to me talk, and after a few months, it's time for some video and we get to meet a little bit closer to face-to-face. Today's subject for this first visual episode. Well, let's talk a little bit about everything going on, shall we? Basketball and soccer all in one for this first ever video recorded Varsity Vibes episode. We'll start with girls and boys basketball. We've focused on a lot of teams, but we want to hone in on just a select few for today. As the regular season has come to an end, so we want to talk about those that are going to be up in the higher divisions of specific playoff brackets and things like that. So on the girls' side, we've focused a lot on one team in particular, and that is Corona Centennial. We had the chance in last week's episode to talk with the head coach of that Riverside County powerhouse, being the Huskies. It was a fantastic discussion to the insight of what this Husky team has done to become so dominant, despite having only one returning starter and a top talent in the state. So far, so good. They have cruised their way to an 18-3 record while capturing an undefeated Big 8 league title, one of the top leagues in the country, and we had mentioned King, one of their interleague opponents, could have been a bit of a problem for them down the stretch to wrap up the season. Absolutely not a worry at all for the Huskies, it turned out to be. They dismantled King 79-32 to end their regular season. Now the Huskies find themselves in the CIF Southern Section girls basketball playoffs, locked into that. An exciting first season for head coach Matt Tomabing, the incredibly talented girls on that Husky team as well. Bravo to all of them. They're doing a fantastic job over there at Corona Centennial. They dominated league games, only giving up 153 points total over the 6-game span. That's just 25.5 points allowed per game. You're putting up those kinds of numbers, you are simply not going to lose. Their opponent could only muster that much, an unbelievable defensive performance in league play. Combine that with their 517 points over 6 games, just shy of that about 100 point per game mark. They're going to fall 14 points short with 86 points per game. Still pretty great. Huskies had a vice grip on that first place spot in league and never let anyone come even close to taking it away from them, to cap off a most impressive regular season, if I do say so myself. Now, looking at one more girls team and league overall, the Desert Empire League, bit of an interesting one down there in the desert. Came down the last few games of the season. Shadow Hills completing yet another 10-0 undefeated league championship run. They are on a 33-game league win streak. That's a three-peat for them. Third straight league title. This team is going to be a force in the playoffs, I promise you. And I expect a deep playoff push from them, especially the Knights only allowing less than 1,000 points all season. And that's a lot of games, and it's basketball. Allowing less than 1,000 is unbelievably impressive. And defense, you know what they say, wins championships. They've only lost in neutral games as well. They're undefeated at home and on the road, boasting that 21-5 record that they have. I would not want to be whoever stands in their way in the opening round of the postseason divisions. Now, for the boys' side, we're going to keep it in the Big 8 League today. Corona Centennial, we mentioned the girls' team is good, and the boys are no different. The 12th ranked team in California picked up 2 huge close wins versus Santiago in their last 4 games to secure the Big 8 League title. The team is undefeated at home and is off to the playoffs, guaranteed. However, something to look out for is their road record, standing at 7-4. With only 5 losses total, it does say something that there are struggles in a more hostile environment for this team. If someone can land a higher seeding over the Huskies, it could really work out in their favor in the playoffs, giving them that slight advantage that might push them on to the next round whenever they might have that matchup. But Riding a 10-game win streak into the postseason is going to be a significant boost for a team that is already near unstoppable. Speaking of 25-5 teams in the Big 8, Santiago also joined Centennial with the best overall record in the Big 8, but only losing one game in league play was enough to cost them a league title. Ranked 48th in California, the Sharks are smelling blood in the water come postseason time, and now that they're locked into the playoffs, unlike Centennial, the Sharks are road warriors. A perfect 6-0 in away games has helped them put together the pieces of this impressive season that they are currently on. Taking things over to the soccer pitch now. It's got to be something about the Santiago Sharks. The girls' soccer team is perfect on the road as well. They're sitting at 5-0. This team sits in some pretty rarefied air, sitting at 4th in the entire state and 30th in the country. One of the most must-see teams in all of high school sports in the nation. Only 2 losses all year, holding a 17-2-3 overall record as the Big 8 champions. This team will likely be back in the open division this year and have a shot at the top prize in California soccer. It's going to be tough for them, but I think they got a chance. The team that raced their way into second behind Santiago is the Roosevelt Mustangs, a team that is no slouch themselves, sitting comfortably at 19th in the state and 73rd nationally. A 15-4-6 record has earned themselves a spot in a high-tier playoff bracket and is well earned after only one league loss in arguably the toughest league in all of Riverside County, let alone Southern California. A strong team at home with a 7-1 record, but a really strange road team. No losses, but of the 6 games they had on the road, 5 ties, only 1 win. So a playoff road game could spell early trouble for the Mustangs. Finally, we're going to end things off with boys soccer. Head and shoulders above the rest is Rancho Mirage and Beaumont. The Beaumont Cougars, 44th team in the state. Nationally, they come in at 185, a little bit lower. The Citrus Belt champions, however, very well balanced. Don't seem to care where they play. They just win and win and win. To the tune of a 19-3-2 overall record with 52 goals notched on the year. Passing that 50 mark, big accomplishment for the Cougars, a top team in the county to keep an eye on now that the postseason is here. Lastly, Rancho Mirage. This team is the undisputed best boys soccer team in Riverside County. 15th in all of the Golden State and 85th nationally. The Desert Empire champs are a staggering 15-1. You heard that right. 15-1. 15-1. Only one loss came between them and perfection, and it was to league rival Palm Desert in a 1-0 game, barely defeated. So the one loss was by the least amount possible. This team, no draws, just rolled through 15 wins and is locked in on taking home a CIF crown. So that's going to wrap things up for the little bit of the first visual episode and the preview of postseason for boys and girls, for basketball and soccer. We're going to get a little bit more in depth over the next coming weeks about those playoffs for each individual sports. Expect some individual episodes for those. But that's going to be a wrap on today's episode here on Varsity Vibes on the United America Network.
Varsity Vibes with Luke LaMonte is presented by the United America Network. Based in Riverside County, California, UAN is your home team for respecting the American way and countering the spread of misinformation. This is what democracy sounds and looks like.